Hello, everyone. I am Janine Davis of James Davis and Associates. I believe everyone can succeed and be happy with right encouragement, inspiration, and motivation. I'm here to provide some of that with today's confidence tip of the day. That tip is things don't always go the way you want. Things don't always go the way you plan. Even if you've prepared, things aren't going to always go according to your plan. And that is okay. It happens to everyone in all kinds of circumstances. Listen to what happened to me yesterday. You know, I'm a church girl, so yesterday it was my turn to teach children's church. I was all prepared to teach lesson 7. I had the printouts that the people at church were kind enough to text me since I couldn't get there to pick the lesson book up. I prepared lesson 7. I'm ready to go with lesson 7. When I got to church yesterday, lesson 4 was actually the lesson for the day. And so I have a group of children in front of me waiting for me to teach them something. I'm prepared for lesson 7. They're on lesson 4. So something had to happen. Things didn't go according to my plan. We had to make something happen. So I said a prayer and then made it work. And that's how life is sometimes. And one of the things that I did, and this is crucial to you, when you're dealing with something that is not going according to your plan or circumstances are different, I admitted that what happened. I said to the kids, listen, I was prepared for lesson 7. You see what this is? This is lesson 4. So I'm gonna put the memory verse up here, and then I'm going to read this for 2 minutes, and then we're gonna get going. I admitted to them that I was not prepared. I took a moment to prepare, and then I got going. And so that's a great tip for you, something you can use to boost your confidence. So that when things happen and it's not according to your plan, you can panic for a second because it wasn't a good feeling for me seeing lesson 4 instead of lesson 7. But I made a choice. I said a prayer about it. I took a minute to prepare. I told the people I was in front of, hey, this is not my plan. I need a moment. And then I kept going. It reminds me of a line from the Hotel Artemis. And the character says, you work with what you got, not with what you want. And that's what you have to do. Whenever something happens, when you are not able to do things according to your plan, take a deep breath. If you're a church girl like me, say a prayer. Acknowledge to whoever it is that you're dealing with, hey, this is not according to my plan. We're making adjustments, and keep going. Don't lament and spend a lot of time being upset about what you want to have, what you wanted to happen, what your plan was. That's gone. It's gone. It's disappeared. You are now here. So work with what you have. And this is because often things are not going to go as you planned. Sometimes it's going to be your fault. Sometimes it's not going to be your fault. But the bottom line is, when it happens, it doesn't matter whose fault it is. You are here. You're going to be there with whatever it is that you have to deal with. So deal with it. Now, if you're in the habit of doing your best, you have a certain reputation. So when things are not according to your plan, those who are around you will realize, you know what? Janine is usually perfectly on point with these things. Something happens. She might be a little off today. We're going to cut her some slack. That's a good best case scenario. But there are going to be some scenarios where this is your first time, your first impression, and things are not going to go the way you planned. I remember my husband, this was quite a few years ago, he went for a job interview and he had his jacket folded up in the car. He took it out when he got into the interview, and when he took it out, he unfolded it, and because he had it folded in thirds to be neat to throw it in the car easily. When he unfolded it, it was covered in paint because one of the children had spilled paint on his new suit jacket and didn't bother to tell him. So he walked into the interview with the paint on his suit jacket, just looking like 3 hot messes. Not one, but 3 hot messes. And what he did, the secretary's looking at him, and then the person who was going to interview him came out, and they're looking at this jacket, which he then folded back and put across his arm. And they asked him, what's going on? And he said, he told them the truth. One of the kids obviously spilled paint on my jacket and didn't think it was important enough to tell me. They had kids. They understand the messes that kids make sometimes and don't admit to. So they laughed. He went on. They had an interview. And even though he's nervous because he's not wearing his suit jacket when he's going for his suit jacket job, But the interview went well. They offered him a position and he worked there happily for quite some time. And it's because he did what we're talking about here, the boost your confidence tip for when things don't go according to your plan. You acknowledge, hey, this is not according to my plan. You take a deep breath, you take a moment to prepare, and then you push forward. That will help you. So, whenever something happens today, tomorrow, next week, because it's going to happen, it happens to all of us and it happens more than once. So, when something happens and things do not go according to your plan, remember, take a deep breath. If you're a church girl like me, you say a prayer. You acknowledge to the people you're dealing with that things are not going according to your plan, and then you push forward. Okay? Remember, things don't always go as planned. That's it. That's our confidence tip of the day. I'll see you next time. All right? Bye, everybody.